Good, my friend. I'm hitting the recording button right now. Let's see if it pops up.
All righty. Like you're on the beach.
That would be a nice place to be, my friend.
It sure would. I was down in Charleston last week and I had to get out of there. Or actually, earlier this week, I had to get out of there because of the weather coming in.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, they were getting some terrible weather. Well,
Oh
wow.
man, hammered. Got to over 16 inches of rain in a
Wow,
matter of
that's amazing.
3 days.
Wow. Hey, Bob, I want to welcome you to Growth Mindset of a Champion podcast series. And Bob, we do this series on various topics. A lot of it, I'm doing some around Woodford County history and some of the exciting businesses and people and just all those things. And I'm targeting Woodford County here for a few episodes. I know you and I had talked a couple times, and even when your dad was with us, I had was making an attempt to do one with your father, Jack Kain Sr. And I just want to let the audience know, I've known the Kains for, gosh, I got married to Janet Isaac back in 1981, and we dated for 4 years. So we go back to 78. I was dating her. She graduated
You're
79.
telling your age, Ty. Be
It's a long
careful.
time, but we went to church with the Canes. So, you guys have been a pillar of the community. Your dad did so much for Woodford County. I just remember every time I was turning around, he was donating something in the church. He always had a car come up and he'd donate it and everybody throw in a little to balance it out. And I just remember hoping I'd win one of those cars and I never did, but I'd always put a little bid in on it, my friend. But we're really blessed, Bob, to have you with us today. You generously agreed to spend a little bit of time with us to kind of talk a little bit about Woodford County and what it's meant to you, and also your dad's legacy, Jack Kain Sr. I ran into him probably around February
Yep.
this year over at JP's restaurant there. Okay, and
Yeah,
he came
he
in.
loved it.
He was in a wheelchair, but he was still out there going, man. And
He
we talked a
was.
little bit. He always shakes hands, and we always talked about me buying that car off of him, back in 1981. And
That
so
sounds
anyway,
like
your
it.
dad was always just so professional, such a great guy, and he was a someone we all looked up to, because he was so had so much faith, and he put the community and his faith, his community, and his family right there at the top. And that people watch that, they see that, and what's amazing, Bob, is now his legacy is taking place, man. Now he's passed on in March, and we know he's in a good place. He's left a great legacy. We want to celebrate his legacy on this call, and then we want to also talk a little bit about Jack, Kain Ford, and kind of what's been going on and how you guys
Yeah.
rallied around what you'd been with Jack. I mean, you're his son. I know you're a Woodford County graduate, and we're going to go through that. But you got so much promise, and you had a great role model, and you got a great family and a lot of brothers and sisters. Everyone's been engaged. So I know I'm biting off a lot right now, but I just wanted to thank you for hopping on our YouTube channel and getting on this Zoom call with me today.
Well, thank you, Ty. And and so much the kind words that you said mean so much to me and our family. It's great being on your show today, and I'm honored to be here. Our father was such a great role model for us. He was not only a great businessman and just so good to the community. The community was great to him, but he was an amazing father too. A lot of times you don't see the behind the scenes man, and he was just an incredible dad. We were very active as a family. All of us played sports and were in different groups and activities and so forth. He never one time missed one of our activities. He was always there for our basketball games, our track events, whatever it was. He was such a supportive father. And then if you talk to the people in the business field, they were always like, Jack was at every event. He was at the chamber events, and he was at the water board event, and this and that. And he was so good to all people, and we've got quite the legacy to carry on here because he just did such a phenomenal job with the community and everybody that he met. He made an impression on everybody that he met. When he got done speaking to him, I feel like they felt better about themselves and the conversation they had with him than before the conversation took place.
Well, Bobby, I remember negotiating a vehicle deal with him in 1981. I told you the story. It was my first new car. And I'd had these beat up cars and I had a Mercury Cougar RX-7, 1974. Jerry Davis had one. So I always wanted one, and I finally found one, but the top was peeling off on it. I drove it for about 4 or 5 years and I wheeled into his dealership there in Versailles in 1981 on Main Street
Yeah,
where the church is. And I
that's
wheel in
right.
there, and Jack's in there, and we sit down, we start talking about it. I test drove it, come in, and he's a business guy too. I mean, he was, we were talking back and forth. We were $400 or $500 apart, and he goes, "Well, let's sleep on it. We'll get back." I go, "Yes, sir." And so I went back to work Monday morning at Texas Instruments. I'm sitting there. I'm an engineering designer, and my phone rang about 9:30. It was Jack. He goes, "Are you still wanting that Ford Escape?" At that time, it was what was it? It was a little Ford, a little green. I mentioned the name to you.
Yeah, was it the
Fiesta, Ford Fiesta.
yeah,
Yeah,
Fiesta,
yeah.
yeah,
But it's a stick
great little
shift.
cars.
And I was going to Midway College at the time, and it was going to help me get back and forth. And Kentucky, I was going to Kentucky State and then Midway. But anyway,
Yeah,
Jack says, "I know you need dependable." He goes, "Look, I'm willing to come down and meet you instead of 500. Let's just meet at 200 more." That's a great number. Let's do it. So anyway, Jack made the deal. We went over, got the car, and I had that car. I drove it for 10 years. I mean, it's an
oh,
awesome
that's
car.
great.
One of the best cars I ever had. But I mean,
I,
he's willing to negotiate, meet you, work with you. He goes, "Look, you're in the community. I'm in the community. I'm going to support you." He supported me, and I never forgot that. So I just thought
he
it was
was
really, really cool. I never
he,
forgot that, So,
that's all. He was a consummate salesperson, and
yep.
he loved sales. He loved business. He always said, "Nothing happens till somebody sells a car," and so he just knew our industry drove the entire financial market in the world, and he was just
Yep.
proud to serve his industry. He was always looking for a way to help other dealers. Most dealers are competitors,
Right.
and they're kind of working to try to put the other one out of business. He
Right.
was always wanting everybody to do good, and he would unite the dealers and do
Yes.
things on behalf of the dealers. And he started so many different entities in Central Kentucky. He helped keep the hospital here in Woodford County.
Wow.
At one time the hospital was getting ready to go out of business, and him and a team of doctors they called around and got more help, and so we've got a thriving hospital here in Woodford
Yeah.
County today.
That's a heck of a legacy right there.
Yeah,
That's a
it
legacy.
was, and
That's a legacy moment. You never forget that because Woodford Hospital now has rebounded and they're doing pretty well over there.
yeah, absolutely, and just so many different things. He always reached outside of our industry because he felt like that if everybody did good, if the community did good, then our business would do good.
Absolutely. It all is intertwined. And
It
what
does.
amazes me, when you sell a home or you sell an automobile, those are two of the primary purchases you're going to make in your life, right? I believe.
That's right.
And and at the end of the day, people are going to see those, right? Or they're going to be, they're going to read about the house in the paper. They're going to drive up and down the street. Well, the car is going to be, the house is great, but you can't go anywhere without a car, right? So
Very
it's going to be
true.
important that you not only get the car where you can get it repaired, where you don't have to go and drive 45 minutes to, in a rainstorm or whatever. If you've got someone local that, you know, is going to be right in it with you the entire time you own the car and support you and keep a car up. When you buy a car, it's been my experience. If I take really good care of it for 4 years and I get my oil changed, I get my tires rotated, and that's what they do with us. We have fleet cars out through Wills at my company. And they always
Yeah.
tell us, follow the maintenance on these things and you will not be sidelined on the road. And always get if there's like with the tires, go on and pay that little bit of extra. So when you blow one out or you run over something, or you tear the side of your tire on a curb, it's covered, right?
That's
And
right.
you know, there's different plans they can do for that. But my point to this conversation is that the car is something, you know, once you put it out there, the entire community is going to be looking at it, right? And
Yeah.
they're gonna have questions, and they're always, you know, nowadays with social media, you know, it's easy to see something that looks great in Louisville, but you may go all the way to Louisville. Oh, we sold those already. And then they want you to buy the next one up, you know, or they've got all these other
Yeah,
things. I'm just
right.
throwing that out there because I've seen all that. And a lot of times,
Absolutely.
local is all, it can, in most cases, be better
Well,
if you come in with a realistic approach to purchasing the vehicle, right? Nowadays, there's
without a
not a
doubt.
lot of room in there a lot of times, you know. I mean, I know you're in this 24/7, but you know, I know you guys have that fast lane over there. I see where y'all have the commercials every on the
We
weekend.
do.
I always
Yeah,
watch it
that's
just for the
right.
entertainment part of it, you know. I think it's really I enjoy you guys watching that because it's you all make it fun, right? And
Well,
I
thanks.
think if people hadn't got out there and hadn't come over and met with you guys, are missing an incredible opportunity uh, to step into a culture where you guys put customers first before
Well, I appreciate
and after
that
the purchase.
because
So yeah,
you're right. Culture is so very important. It's the most important thing in our dealership. And our customers are extremely important, but so are our people who work
yeah,
for us.
yeah,
The number one characteristic that we look for when we hire somebody is a happy person.
yeah,
If they're happy, and truly happy. I'm not talking about just putting on a front doing an
right,
interview. I'm talking about somebody who's generally a happy person who has a genuine smile, and
yeah,
you can tell if they want to be around people, if they want to
yeah,
help people out,
yeah,
because we know a happy person is going to take good care of people. We can work on the product knowledge, we can
yeah,
work on all the attributes that it takes to be successful, but they deep down have to be a happy person, and we know that they're going to be successful and help us be successful with that. You mentioned that about the servicing. The
yeah,
average car on the road now is over 12 years old. So if you don't take good care of it, the maintenance on it, it's not going to do very good in those last 5 years. So it's
right,
imperative that people do maintain their car really well. And we do now have the new state-of-the-art quick lane tire and auto service center. It's now 10 bays, and we can do so much more business. We've got all the new technology, all the new machines. I can get people in and out quickly. We do all makes and all models, but it's a great service for the people here
yeah.
in
Hey
Woodford
Bob, I just want
County.
to compliment that because I've had my one day I'm driving through for sales and I get a nail in my Corvette tire and it was in my
Yeah,
front left. And you know, I'm not going to Lexington to get a tire, you know, fixed. I'm going over to Kain Ford. I called and they said, "Come on over. We'll work you in right now." So I went over there and and wheeled in. It's a specialty tire because it is a Corvette. But they said, "Hey, you know what?
yeah,
We would fix it right now, but you know, we got to get that tire in here. We'll have it in here in the morning tomorrow, first thing by noon. We'll
yeah,
have it back to you." I said, "You got me. That's great." So they said, "We'll match the tires on the car for you. So we're going to order the one you have." And I was like, "That's perfect." So normally you
that's
have to buy
great.
4 tires, but mine only had like, I think it had 1,800 miles on the car. So it was
Oh
practically a new
yeah.
Corvette. So they just got me a tire, stuck it on there. It was awesome. And I was able to do it right here in the community and not go anywhere. So, you know,
Yeah.
convenience is a big thing, you know?
It is, yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly right. And the coolest thing about our quick lane is no appointment necessary. So you
yeah.
can just come in, kind of like a haircut or something like that. You can come in, it's very convenient. Just have it done at any time.
Hey, Bob, you know, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, you know, if your dad back in 1953, when you start looking at this, I'm going to touch on a couple points here about your father, and then we'll kind of move in and move up. And I want to talk a little bit about you and your Woodford County history. But
Yeah.
when I start looking at your dad, you can correct me if I blow something here, but he was the son of a dairy farmer.
Hmm.
So he grew up,
That's right.
he knew what work was growing up, right? I mean,
He
when you
did.
have dairy farms, you got cows to milk. I've milked cows. I mean, I I'd be looking for a way to sell a car too if I had to milk cows every morning, right? So, son of a dairy farmer, Jack learned the true meaning of hard work, and he respected his father's line of work. But he knew that probably wasn't for him, so he ventured off to the University of Kentucky in 1947. Jack sold cars part-time. Well, that lit the fire in Jack Kain. He was at UK working on his education, started selling cars part-time. It came to him easily as customers picked up on his honest approach and genuine concern for their satisfaction. And you know what, Bob? I see that in you right now.
Oh,
I
thank
do,
you. I
man. I can see it
appreciate that.
glaring through. And not only that, those qualities would soon define Jack's reputation in his community. And spending several years stationed in Alaska during the Korean War, Jack returned home with high ambitions. And he was in Frankfurt. He had a DeSoto Plymouth dealership. And he ended up in 1953, he ended up getting in and buying other dealerships. He had a six-pack dealership in the U.S., which caught the eye of Ford Motor Company. And in 1961, he had a Ford dealership right here in Kentucky, which was one of the first dealerships I would say in Frankfurt, right, or Lexington.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. And he began that in 1959. The
Okay.
photo that you see there was in 61, and that's one of the first teams that he had.
Yeah,
At
that he
the,
had a team here, and he
yeah,
talks here about his love of his employees and how he knew
yeah,
all of his employees and he
he did.
respected all of his employees. And that came right through the screen 5 minutes ago when you're talking about, it's not about me, it's about us, our team. We approach this together. And if you're not happy, we want people who, when you're happy, you're going to make other people happy. You're going
That's
to make
right.
your customers happy, right? And you're going to be
Yeah,
able to get up on a bad rainy day when you don't want to get out of bed, your feet can't hit the floor. Well, you want to get up, feet hit the floor, and go in and make somebody's day better, right? And if you
that's
make
right.
other people happy, you're going to probably be happier too, right? It
Yeah,
kind of
that's
builds,
right.
that energy builds on itself, doesn't it?
It does. And I'll tell you, the first 45 minutes out of my day, and it's the best part of my day, is I walk around and I talk to every employee here at our dealership. And I generally care about how they're doing. I ask them, hey, how's the family doing? Is there anything I can help you do your job better?
Right.
But I go to every single employee in every single department. They all know I'm coming around in the morning, and I just care about how they are and how they're doing.
And
And
Bob, I can tell you, you guys are very genuine because I've been in there many a time. I've just parked the car and went in and said hi, or looked around the lot or asked if you're getting in that Mustang, that EV Mustang. Everybody's got, or people are curious, right? But I can vouch, since I bought a car in '81, that's been a long time ago, and we bought other cars. But my point is that you all live that, right? And that's what you and I are talking today. I've been so amazed and impressed. When I get, these old Woodford County yearbooks, I've been posting them on my Woodford County, Kentucky history site, right? And
yeah,
I start
exactly.
looking at 1965, 1962. Guess who sponsored in those yearbooks?
I'd
Jack
say
Kane.
Jack came forward,
Jack
dude.
Kane Ford did. I
Yeah.
mean, he was sponsoring. How many people out there right now graduated from Woodford County High School or Versailles High School? Versailles High School goes back to 1927, right? And
That's
then that was
amazing.
Happy Chandler. He was there during that time and had the great football teams. And speaking of football, guess who sponsors the football? Jack Kane Ford. I know Brian. I had uh,
Darren Douglas.
Darren Douglas on a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago, and Darren would always call the Kain family to go out there to get a sponsorship. And you know what? They did. They do it. They understand that community comes first, right? And if we all can understand that Woodford County, we would be even a stronger, better community. And I think we got a great community, and
No
we're building
doubt.
this community. We're always getting better, right? And Bob, I just want to.
Absolutely.
That's my perception of kind of what I've witnessed, being a witness. I grew up in Woodford County from age 3 to 65. So I got 62 years around here. I've seen a few things, right? But
Exactly.
I want to hand it back over to you with your dad. So he had in 1961, 59, 61, he had that Ford dealership. And then he ended up in Versailles in 1979. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, it's right downtown. It's where the is that the Versailles Christian Church?
Yeah,
Is
right across from the Wilson Pool Hall, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you used to always go there and get Willie burgers. That
Yep.
was awesome.
We've all had
I,
a Willy burger, right? I mean,
yeah,
and
that's right. Do
you
you
know
remember we
that
bought that
yep.
from Dick Hellard? It was the old Hellard and Rice
Yes.
Ford dealership.
Yep.
He had had it for many years, and I remember we sold more in the first month that we had it than they had sold in the prior year.
Yeah.
And so Dad knew right off the bat that it was going to be a great business to have there in Woodford County. He had served Woodford County people for many years, living in Woodford County for so long. We had the store in Frankfort there, but he had a lot of Woodford County customers,
Hey,
and
Bob,
so
that farm you guys were on, or where you all lived, I'm going up and down Midway Road. Were you guys on Midway Road off to there?
so no, we were in Ducker Station. Do
Oh,
you know
Dunker
where that
Station.
is?
Okay.
Yeah, Ducker Station. That was a town of it. When we were there, about 25 people. We were 11 of those people.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
That's kind of like what is Green Acres? What was that? You
yeah,
remember that
that's
one?
exactly it.
I
It
got you.
was called
Okay.
Raising Cane Acres because there were 9 of us Cane kids,
I got you.
the two parents, and we had a
That's
little
right, because
store.
my wife Janet Pizek they had 8, I believe. I don't want to get that
Yeah,
wrong. I'll get in real trouble here, but I remember her saying, "Well, the Kane family might have one more than we do," something like that.
she's right. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. And so we had a wonderful upbringing there. We had a 100-acre farm that we farmed. We had tobacco and corn and horses and cattle, and it was just a wonderful farm life that we lived. And had a little store right below us. That this store used to be the train station there at
Okay.
Ducker Station,
I
and
got you.
that's the reason they called it Ducker Station, halfway between Midway and
That's
Frankfort.
kind of like
And
Petticoat Junction. I'm going back in time again. Remember they had that
absolutely,
train with
yeah,
Petticoat Junction?
yeah,
It's
oh
kind of
yeah,
cool though, because that is, I'm a big Midway guy. I love Midway. You see me post Midway stuff. I just fell in
yeah,
love with Midway. I didn't understand it as a kid. My son went to school there at Northside Elementary when it opened. And so we
yeah,
just started loving Midway. And then, I went to Midway and graduated college in Midway when they let guys in at night. And I just fell in love with it. And I could see how that's Woodford County, right? That is Woodford. So
that's
you
right.
grew up in Woodford County when he was working in Frankfurt. You all were Woodford County even then. So a lot of Woodford County people will go to Frankfurt to the dealership to purchase cars. So you already had a relationships when you guys opened in 1979 on there on the crossing the Fool Hall, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. It was a great location. The only problem was, as you know from driving by there, we were landlocked and there was not much room to park any
Right.
cars there. So we had cars spread all over Woodford County
Yep.
downtown. We had them behind businesses. We talked to other business owners and said, "Hey, you mind if we put 5 cars over
Right.
here?" I mean, we're all over the place. And business was great, and we loved the downtown scene, but we ran out of room, and so in 1983 we built the store on the bypass.
Okay, 83. I knew it had been there
Yeah,
quite a while, and it's continued to grow and expand through the years.
yeah. So that store we ended up being there from 1983, and in 2003 we built it at our present location here on
Okay.
Versailles Road,
Okay.
right by DoDaddy's. Everybody knows where DoDaddy is, and
Yeah, that one, when was that one started,
so
Bob?
that was 2003
I
when we
got you. So
built
that's
this
been there
store.
21 years then.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It's been a great location. The good thing about this location is we're close to service our Woodford County customers, of course, and then our Lexington customers
Yeah.
who we sell a lot to. We're right there for them,
Well, yeah,
and
you're
now
right on
they're
the Fayette County line. You got the castle right there on the line, and then
yeah,
which is an amazing historical marker. I was out there with the farm tour a couple of weeks ago, and we toured the castle and went all over the grounds. And I've been there many times, but I had not heard the history on it. I recorded the historian that talked, about the history of the castle. And you guys started creating history with Jack Kain Ford again in Woodford County in 2003 at the current location you're at now. And you
Yeah.
guys are going really strong there right now.
Yeah, one of the things in this location helps us with it is we now do the free pickup and delivery for our service customers. So
Okay.
within 20 miles, we'll go pick up their vehicle, we'll bring it back, we'll service it and take it back to them. The service of pickup and delivery is free. They just pay for whatever service they have done. And that's for any make or model in our quick
Is
lane.
that kind of one of the
Yeah.
first? I mean, are you one of the first businesses that does that? Does anyone else do that in Woodford County with
Not
automobiles?
in Woodford County, no.
Okay.
It's something that we started. We felt like it was a great fit for our
Well,
customers.
I see
The
that because the
convenience
baby
is
boomers
great.
right now, I'm a baby boomer. I admit it. I'm right there now. And what I'm finding is that convenience means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And the relationship I've built. So what I'm finding is, convenience, it's a differentiator, right? And and I can see where uh right now, like what we're doing right now, having this conversation, people will want to watch this. We have a lot of people that, I'll have people say, Todd, why are you posting all this stuff on your site? Why are you doing that? I'm like, well, you're 30 years old, right? And right now, in your mindset, you're not as into this right now because you're not in a retirement home where you can't get out and go see people and do certain things. And I've got a lot of people now that can't walk. They're in wheelchairs. They're
Yeah.
calling me. They're getting word to me. Hey, thank you for helping get me back in the community because I was kind of locked out because we don't talk enough about our community. We don't know what's in the community. And we've got kids and we got families and we're blessed to be here in the retirement center. But at the end of the day, they got a lot of life to live and they still want to be engaged, right?
Without
And
a doubt. And I think it's a wonderful the service you're doing with your Facebook page, the Woodford County page. It's awesome. And you started out with one person on there, and now what is it up to?
I
How
think
many?
I think we're up to 9,100. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
God.
been growing. We've been growing at a clip right now. We're coming up on year three. Well, year two rather. We just got year two in. Actually, year two's coming up in November, December. We start year three, so it's kind of
Wow.
exploded. We're getting right now, and I don't want to exaggerate this, but in a 30-day window, we're getting 700,000 hits.
That is
That may
amazing.
sound crazy, but it's open to the public. So we're all over the world right now. So and it is
Yeah.
also going on YouTube because I have a YouTube channel. So that this is a separate entity that we're doing now. This is a YouTube
Yeah.
channel which I just started, and we're up over 1,000 hits, and this is only my fourth episode. So we're
Yeah.
expanding. But I wanted to put Woodford County out there on the map and get out there and meet a lot of people because we've got a good start with Facebook, Instagram. We're doing the new X, that we've got. We're just hitting them all. And I think I just am love Woodford County. I think we got so much to offer. I know a lot of people say we don't want it to grow that fast, but when you're proud of something, you want to display it. And Bob, I'm extremely
Absolutely.
proud of Jack Kain Ford and what you guys have done in the community and how long you guys have been in the community. Let's just look at you, for example. What I know you don't like giving your age up. You can't be more than 39 right now, but you
You're
and I
so
went to
funny.
Woodford. I graduated in 1977. I think I don't want to give you up, but I think you were in the 80s sometime, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was 83. And just
83.
to clarify, I went to grade school at St. Leo. And
Yep.
after I graduated from St. Leo, my parents, they wanted us to have a Catholic
Oh, I
education
got you.
at the
Okay.
time. And so we did go to Lexington Catholic, but I still
But you were
always
still here, man. I saw you every
absolutely
day on
all of
Woodford
my
County.
friends
Yeah.
and everybody, my
And my
girlfriend.
son went to LCA for about 3 years, so I get exactly what you're saying. But
Yeah,
during all that, you were probably working in Woodford County. You lived in Woodford County,
absolutely.
so you're always Woodford County, brother. I always look at it. You were here. You had nine. You had the farm. I'm guaranteed on the weekends you were working in Woodford County, weren't you?
That is 100% true.
There
Yes,
you go.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
And
And I've always loved Woodford County. And after high school, I went to Eastern Kentucky University. While I was at EKU, right after I graduated from high school, I went into the Marine Corps Reserves.
okay,
And there was a Marine Corps unit in Lexington. It's the first military police company. So I was a military policeman in the Marine Corps, and I absolutely loved it. And then after college, I started in the business. My intention was to be in the business for a couple months. I had applied to go into the FBI, but at the time
really,
I
okay.
was wanting to be an FBI agent, and at the time they were only looking for attorneys and also people who could speak other
Oh,
languages,
really, okay.
bilingual people, and so I
Hey
missed
man,
my
they wouldn't take
opportunity.
a St. Leo point guard or two guard
Yeah,
to the up. Come on now, we know
I
about,
know.
because I
Imagine
know
my
you played.
resume
I
was
know you
huge.
played with. Was Louis Musey around your time? I'm trying to
Louis
think.
was a couple of years
Yeah,
older
we
than
had
me.
Dan Etherington. He's older than you. Cecil
Yeah,
Watts.
that's right.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think some of the guys that would have played over.
Leo Musey. He
Leo,
was
yeah,
on the team.
Leo's a
Tim
good dude. Yeah,
Hagan.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some really good teams at St. Leo. Steve Barnett was the coach, him and Bobby Dotson.
Oh yeah, I
We
played
had
tennis with Steve before. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
he was a tennis
that's
coach
right.
in Woodford County for quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And you had some church teams over there were pretty good through the years
We
too.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember going to a game. St. Leo, I was not playing this time. I was too young, but my brother Pat was playing for the St. Leo Church League team. And I believe they played against your team. And if I'm not mistaken, you scored over 40 points in this game. I think
Well, I
y'all
was
lost,
I didn't see a
but you
shot I
got
didn't
your
like.
40.
I didn't see a shot I didn't like, and Jerry Davis could confirm that. Jerry would always get the rebound, throw it out, and said, "I know it's not coming back in, so go on and put it up, and I'll get another rebound." I love Jerry, Bobby Peck, and Jerry, and we had Squirrel.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
didn't
he
know
played on
Squirrel
that team.
played. I
Yeah,
forgot
he
about
was
that.
that Lord would he would really carry us through. You know, he would always be there for us, man. We loved him.
Oh, yeah, I
We
bet.
had some good church games, didn't we? We had some good fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And so
and
you
I ended up playing in the church league myself later on, and
yep,
we that was such a good thing for the
it
community.
was. And then
Getting
St.
down
Leo
to
ended up
fellowship.
having a gym, right? They've got a pretty nice gym over there, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
See, I
Yeah,
remember the old gym because I went to church at the old church. I got married in the old church, the Janet. That's where
yeah.
everybody got married back in that day. And then I was not Catholic, but I joined the Catholic Church. That was part of the deal. If you're going to marry one of the Isaacs, you had to join the Catholic Church. I didn't realize it was it's about a 1 year process with me. I think it was like almost 2 years to get me through there. But anyway, it was a great fun. But that old church had a tile gym. You remember that tile gym they
Oh
had?
yeah, I remember this time. We were playing a game, one of the school games. I think we were playing against Nonsuch or
Yeah,
Mortonsville.
I remember the
And we
competition
had
we had
a
with all them schools.
big rain that week, and there were two trash cans on the court
Yep.
where the water was dripping down, and we were running past the trash cans. I remember one of the players ran into the trash can. The water went everywhere. He slid all over it. Uh,
But you know,
those
you
were
and I
great
go back
memories.
because those were some of the most fun times growing up. We didn't realize how much fun we were having. We did, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Now I reflect back, and we were so blessed in Woodford County, and you can speak to this because you played, you know, at St. Leo. We had Mortonsville, Nonsuch, Midway, Pisgah. I'm going to miss somebody. Oh, Simmons, Brazil's
Millville.
Elementary. We would all play against each other. And we had fifth grade and sixth grade, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure. And then what would happen is that was in the elementary grades.
Yeah.
And then we would play each other. And then we had a league and then a tournament at the end of the year. And we'd meet at the high school. And that was like going to Rupp Arena, man.
Oh
Woodford County High
yeah.
School had the lights on and the gym. And I'd walk in there and it was like, oh my goodness, I can shoot in here, you know. And then we would get them games going. And I wasn't at that time as developed. I was learning to play in that fourth, fifth, sixth grades, you know, because I
Yeah.
lived in the housing projects over in over on Oak Street on the other side of the track. And
Oh
it took
yeah.
all the brothers a few years to get me learning how to play. But by the time I hit seventh grade, eighth grade, I was getting dangerous. And then ninth grade started for Coach Bland, Coach Hill, 10th grade. And then I thought I knew too much about ball to play my 11 and 12. And I went and played with Dan Etherington at his college. for a little bit, but
Bluefield.
Bluefield, yeah, they called me down, and then they called Dean Oswald down to play, and then yeah, it was
Yeah.
like and Joe, his Dan's dad was setting that up because Joe worked the TI with me, and he goes, "You got to go play at Bluefield," so funny. But
Yeah.
it brought me back home, and I ended up playing over at Texas Instruments for about 23 years basketball, and then that's about how long it took me to get my 3 college degrees, about 23 years, and then I ended up going into a whole new field in life. But Woodford County, man, did that for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it's what have I done? No, it's what has the community done with you. I look at
That's
it that
right.
way. We're only as good as our community a lot of times, because if I hadn't had great teachers, great friends, people around me, I just got on the Hall of Fame board over there with Mr. Tippett, Miss Tippett, and Tom
Well,
Bozarth, and a bunch of them, and I'm blessed to get in there to be able to kind of help the history of Woodford County, because I've been here a long time.
yeah, we're
And
a supporter. We're a supporter of that. I think it's a great
it's
organization.
awesome. But my point I'm trying to make, and the same to you, Bob, you don't forget your roots, your heritage, where
No,
you came from. And I never forget that. And I'm always just have an open heart and an open mind to try to help the community, because we've been blessed, to have our faith, to have our family, to have our community.
that's
And
right.
that gives us this opportunity to share that with the community out there. And it's a blessing to have you on today, Bob.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's so cool talking about the old time of growing up in Woodford County. And you remember Gary? He ran the Parks and Recreation Department for many years. Did a
Oh yeah.
wonderful job helping develop kids and helping them become better athletes and people and business people and
Yeah, Woodford
community.
County Parks and Recreation, we've all played some of that, in seventh, eighth
Yeah,
grade. I was on the Eagles and played that basketball, played football, did all that Parks and Rec. And I ended up, again, Woodford County, I'm on the Parks and Rec board as well. It's just fun to give back to Woodford County, and Gary Jones was amazing.
that's right. He
Gary
was.
committed his whole life to that,
He
and he
did.
had the Jack Jewett House. That's a whole nother episode we could do, on the Jack
Yeah.
Jewett House. Actually, Gary's legacy would be a good one to do it one sometime with people, because Gary was so committed to the community. But you and I are blessed to get to know those people. Like I played so much tennis, and I know you played a lot of sports coming up. We
Yep.
had the tennis courts, we had the soccer fields, we had the little league fields, we had the football field. The tennis courts. I mean, you start thinking of all how that impacts the community, the youth,
Without a
right?
doubt.
Keeping the youth engaged, physical fitness. You remember we had the physical fitness contest in school. You
Yeah,
remember
that's
that?
right.
Remember the erasers? We run and get one and bring it back and go back and get another one, and then 300-yard run walk, and we can go on and on.
Exactly.
100-yard dash. It might have been a 60, but I just
You
remember I
know,
can go back on it. Leslie Stevens, I think she was the top girl, and I was the number 2 guy. I think Curtis Carr, Darryl Curley, one of those knocked me out. I ended up being second in the sprint.
there's you had some fast ones
Yeah.
in there, no doubt
And then
about
I
it.
think I was a distance guy. I ended up not realize I won the distance event, like the 300. There was one distance event I remember, and then I
Yeah,
had no idea I was going to run track by junior senior year. I ended up I was on track cross country doing all that crazy, but we don't know what we're going to get out of this. When we're going through the
right.
process of the education in school, right?
That's
And then
right.
one day we wake up and we think, well, we're never going to be an old 30-year-old, right? And then one day you blink and
Exactly.
it's 40 and you're like, and you're still, you're still younger than me, brother, but then you blink again, it's like 50. What happened? And then
Amen.
then you go, well, how can we give back a little bit and help the community? And I know you have an amazing facility over there, and you guys are doing all you can to support Woodford County with not only with the car industry, but so many other things that you guys support. You named a couple of things here. I know you said you guys are kind of supporting the Woodford County Historical Society is one. I know Darren Douglas, all the high school sports. Historically, you guys have been a supporter with some of that stuff. And
Yeah.
what,
We donate over $100,000 a year
wow, that's a
to our
commitment.
community, and that's in central Kentucky, and it's important to us because
Yeah.
without the community, we wouldn't be in business. And so we love our community and
Yeah,
we want to give back. Naturally, we can't give to every
right,
organization, everything, but we sure do our best to give to as many as we can. We have a hard time saying no. We're softies, and there's some organizations that are really close to our heart, like the organ donor
right,
organization. I've had two sisters die of a liver disease. They were not able to get their organs in time,
really.
before they
Sorry
passed
to hear that.
away, and
Yeah,
so that's a very soft part in our hearts, and
yeah,
so that's a big organization that we give to every year, and there's several more, and
right,
we're just glad to be able to have the
yeah.
opportunity to give back.
Well, Bob, I tell you, man, every time I see you, your demeanor never changes. I talk to a lot of people. I said, I'm going to be talking with Mr. Bob Kain. They go, oh, you're going to have fun with him. And I said, well, Bob is just, he's just even keel, man. I know you got to have a bad day, but you're
No,
happy. You don't. You're happy.
no,
Just like
I
what
gotta
you
tell you.
bring, just like what you bring to the company, what you ask, you know, of your staff, and you lead by example, and
Well,
that's
my
important.
wife, it drives her crazy. She'll tell other people, Bob never has a bad day. He's always happy. She said, it drives me crazy because I'm not like that. But yeah, every day I get up, I thank God
Right.
for everything that I have.
Yeah.
I give a
Right.
lot of gratitude every
Yeah.
single day. I write down at least 5 things every single
Yeah.
morning that I'm grateful for. And it just helps put things in perspective, and allows me to understand what's real in life, and
Yeah.
that without the help of the community and my family and my wonderful wife, then I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today. I'm so very blessed.
Well, Bob, I tell you, I can't let you off here. I'll tell you what a beautiful set of pups you have at home. Um, I've got two big German shepherds, and they're my babies. And
Oh, they're
I had a
beautiful.
Sheltie that probably is going down. My Duke, 16 years. He was my boy, and
Oh
I
yeah,
miss him so much. And
no
I
doubt.
know one day we'll get to play together again. But I've got my two
Yes.
Germans and my Samson. You've seen me post him. He's my boy.
Oh yeah.
Now I like the girl
It-
too, but she's a little ornery sometimes. But we still love her. But my Duke and my Samson. Someday we'll all three be running in those fields and all that good stuff. But while we're still here, I know you got some most beautiful Shelties I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, thank you. We got two Shelties and two golden retrievers, and
Yeah, your golden
they're
retrievers are
amazing.
beautiful too, by the way.
Oh,
And
thank you. We
hey,
love them.
and what we got you on?
They
Want
give
to tell
us.
us, just quickly, your wife, man. Where did you meet her, and how long have you all been together? I know the community likes to know what's going on in Woodford County. So,
Yeah, so I had a buddy. We had just I had just decided that we were gonna I was gonna move down to our store in London. We were opening up a new location down there, and that was in London, Kentucky. That is,
I covered
and
London, Kentucky. I've covered it for many years in pharmaceutical industry.
yeah,
Unbelievable people in London, Kentucky.
no
And I've
doubt about
competed
it.
in tennis against Corbin and London guys for years.
Oh
And they're some of the
yeah,
most competitive people I've ever met, and some of the most humble, genuine, give you the shirt off their back people that I've met. I know we
without a
got good and
doubt.
bad people everywhere, but there's so many good people in that area.
You
It
probably
amazes me.
know Bobby Smith down
Bobby
there.
Smith and I are good friends. Yep, we've
Yeah,
been to
good,
UK
great
games
guy.
together.
Yeah,
He's got a fourth row seat behind the bench, and he's got a seat
yeah,
in the lower arena, 2 rows from the top in lower arena, and I've been in both of those many times. So he's a good guy. Yep,
he is.
he's a
So
heck of a tennis player too, and he's the
yeah,
coach at
without a
North
doubt.
Lawn. Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
small
He
world.
he actually coached my nephew
Oh,
and
really?
helped him get to the state tournament one year. Great guy. So we opened that store in '91, and I happened to meet uh, her in between the time of me leaving this store
Oh,
and then going down to that store in '91. I stayed with a Woodford County boy at Racket Club Apartments in Lexington,
okay,
and I happened to meet her one day, and
right.
I truly fell in love at first sight. And one thing led to another, and we were married 8 months later, and been married now for 32 years.
That's
She's my
awesome.
absolute sweetheart, and I could not live this life without her.
Well,
She's
that's
amazing.
awesome, man. I'm glad it's a great thing. And congratulations staying married for 32 years. That's impressive.
32 years. You got me beat
You're
by
gonna
a
catch me
few.
soon if you keep that up, So yeah. I'm not gonna take, no, I'm just kidding. We've been married. I'm gonna get this wrong. 43 years. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow,
Been a long time, brother. I never thought, you just never know,
that's
But we've been
amazing.
blessed. Same as
Yeah,
you. So yeah, it's a
that's
blessing, my
awesome.
friend. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Bob, I know you've got business there to get to, brother, and you were kind enough to give me, gosh, we've got 46 minutes here. Just
Seemed
as we're
like
getting
10
ready to
minutes.
close this thing off, I just wanted to ask you, this is growth mindset of a champion. And when you're in leadership and when you're working with the community and working with people, and when you hear the word fixed mindset, what goes through your mind? Someone who has a fixed mindset.
Well, to me, it's you, somebody who's not open to growth,
Yeah,
and growth is so important to us. We've grown over 40% in the last 2 years. We've got to have a growth mindset. My goal is every single day to improve just a little bit.
yeah.
If we can improve a little bit every day in a year's time, it's going to be a huge growth. And
You
I,
just
I
answered
want
my
to,
next question. Growth
yeah.
mindset. So tie that into growth mindset.
Well, you've got to have a growth mindset in today's uh, environment of competition. You've got to have the mind that, hey, I've got to grow, or I'm going to be put to pasture.
Right.
In our business, it changes so quick. We've got to be nimble. We've got to be open to the growth. We got to be open to new technology, or we'll be left behind so quickly that we'll be put out of business. So I surround myself with people much smarter than
Yeah.
myself who have a growth mindset, and we challenge each other.
Yeah.
We
God, yeah.
and
Yeah. You're
and,
absolutely
and that
right. That's one
challenge,
of the reasons for me having this YouTube channel. And one of the reasons I started the Woodford
yeah,
County History Site, because we can learn from what the past and we can grow for the future, the growth
that's
mindset,
exactly
right?
right.
And then, teamwork. When you hear teamwork, what pops into your head? And it sounds like you guys have an amazing team at Jack Kain Ford.
We do. The camaraderie is amazing. I mean, we've got as close of a team that we've ever had. Everybody cares about each other. They want everybody to succeed. We've got our entire sales staff are all graduates of Woodford County High School,
Hey,
and they've
Bob, I'm going to ask you here, and I know, you can say yes or no, and I'm just going to ask, do you want to share with us a little bit about your sales staff as an example, or you can give a
yeah,
general overview,
without a
or you
doubt,
can tell us who works there,
yeah,
just so some of them may want to watch the podcast, and it's fascinating to the families of Woodford County, because those staff members, they have families and they
yeah,
have
without a
grandparents and
doubt,
they have, kids, and they are in communities, and we're all one big community, right? So
yeah, without a
you
doubt.
want to
And
reflect just a tad for a minute, just go through some of the people a little bit, name some names.
I'm
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm proud of every one of them. My brother Pat Kain, that you know very
Yeah.
well, he's been a senior sales consultant with us for 40, I think 43 years, a
That's
long
amazing.
time. And then I've got Lou Ann Campbell, Woodford County graduate. She's on our team. She helps out with a lot of things, sales included. Then we got Nick Venn. I used to coach him in basketball.
Okay.
Uh, he's been on our team for a good number of years. We got Cody Courtney, Cody Broughton, got Caleb Reams, got JT Jones. These are all Woodford County
That's
graduates.
awesome.
We do have one young man out of Lafayette High School in Lexington, but he's been a family friend for many
Yeah.
years. But we've got just, and I'm sorry if I forgot somebody there, but the cohesion of this team, these
Yeah.
guys love each other.
That's
We do
awesome.
surveys on our dealership with our employees, and one of them said in their survey notes that I love coming to work every day because every day seems like a reunion with my friends.
Yeah, that's a
And
beautiful
that's the
thing.
environment I want them to have, that they want to be here, that they want to service our customers, that they want to take great care of our customers. And if they're happy, our customers are going to
Hey,
be
you know
happy.
what? You hit on there, and I'll tell you, Texas Instruments, I put in 23 over there and learned a lot. I had mentors from all over the world, engineers all over the world. And to this day, we're still family. I talk to a lot of them that are still here. And Texas Instruments had a philosophy. It was called customer love. Everything was customer love. When they call, customers first. When they need feedback, we always got on the phone and called them directly back. So
Yeah.
I can sense that with you. You guys put your customers, right out front and center, and you do everything to meet their expectations.
Well,
So,
thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm not bragging about this, but 3 years in a row, we've been in the top 100 out of 16,000 dealerships in the country on customer satisfaction.
that's awesome.
That's extremely important to us. And we know this, if we take care of our customers, they're going to come back to us. They're going to tell their friends and their family about us. And that's the most important thing. It tickles me to death when somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I bought a vehicle from Nick and I'm back because he took such good care of me. And this is my mother. She wants to buy a vehicle too." And so it's just a wonderful feeling when somebody comes back to you.
Well, Bob, I tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go on and I want to thank you, number one, for taking the time out of your busy week and busy day and hopping on here with me to share the history of the Kain family, history of the dealership, uh, have some really good, deep discussion around the community and around what it's meant to you and me. And it's been almost like I feel like I'm part of the Kain family, man. It's been like a family
Absolutely,
reunion.
you are. And I
And
appreciate you saying that. And I love being on the show today. And I want to thank you for everything that you're doing for Woodford County. It does not go unnoticed. People in Woodford County appreciate the Facebook page, and now you starting this program with Woodford County people, and it means a lot to the people of the community. So thank you for your work and your support of Woodford County.
well, Bob, I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. And I look forward to coming over there and seeing what new inventory you got over there soon. All right, I drive right by it a lot because I live in Locust Grove, right off Huntertown Road. So when I'm
Yeah,
going to Lexington, you guys know I can't miss you, right? You're at that super
that's
location
right.
over there. But
Yeah.
thanks for taking the time out of your schedule, and maybe we'll do another one down the road. Okay.
Thank you, Ty. Have a great day.
I appreciate you, my friend. Take care of yourself.
All
All right,
right,
have a
we'll
good one.
see you.